I want to show you what evil looked like coming from the parents. This is what an example of what evil looked like. I was a little surprised to see it coming from men. They sound just like their mothers. And that's why you must be born again. You're born of the flesh of mama. Then you must be born of the spirit of daddy. The spirit. This is from Owen. Oprah's network. Oprah has a discussion with 100 black fathers. And it's about racism, police brutality, and all that kind of crap. And she had a bunch of, at least, I guess it was 100 black fathers on there. And in the introduction, they mentioned that it was father, out of wedlock father with children, married fathers, fathers who had transgender. Can you imagine raising a transgender person? That would not happen with me. But anyway, transgender children and all the deal. And then Oprah asked black fathers about worrying if your kids will be the next Trayvon Martin. Here's the first soundbite.
Imagine if, as a black person, you just had to worry about being the best human being you could be in the world and not having to worry about all of the stuff that comes with systemic racism.
We know that my son could be Ahmaud Arbery or Trayvon Martin. And so we are constantly telling them about scenarios. We're constantly telling them about what could happen. How do you speak with a police officer in particular? How do you diffuse situations? And what that does to the psyche, I can't fully imagine it because some of that's just internalized, but it takes you away from that idea of thriving and reaching your full potential and just surviving. And that's a constant worry for me to this day. And my son's 25, my daughter's 22.
Doesn't he sound like a very insecure woman? Just like his mama. There's no hope in that. There's no masculinity in that. There's no God involved in that. There's no manness. I've heard black women say this over the years. Oh, I worry about my children. I tell my children about police brutality. You're setting your children up, dummy. Why would you want to teach your young children that the police are against them because of their color? Why? Why? Because you're evil. Grown men have no business not only allowing the mother to tell the children that, but especially the men should not be telling the children that. These kids are going to grow up hating the cops, and they're going to get in trouble when stopped by the cops. Something negative will happen. And who are they going to blame? The white cop, not these dumb fathers. And dumb Oprah sitting there just loving it. A daughter of Satan. She loving it. She can't even sit straight in her seat. She's loving it. Oh, that's so good. These some weak lying men. It's so good. Another father speak about having to have the talk. This is so dumb, make me want to throw up. Having the talk about racism with his daughter. Watch this.
Armin Henderson, how did the talk go for you?
My parents had a talk with me, but I think more so what was more triggering for me was having the talk with my daughter, who is 5 years old. I was recently in front of my house putting tents in my car to deliver to the homeless. Right after I got off at a shift at the hospital. I'm a physician.
He has on a blouse.
And the police basically pulled in front of my house and asked me if I lived there, if I was littering, etc. I answered all the questions, and then the police officer decided to put me in handcuffs. This was during the pandemic. He had no mask on. But when I came inside and talked with my daughter, she was just like, "You didn't even do anything." Like my daughter's 5 years old. "You didn't do anything, Dad. Like what? Why did he put you in handcuffs?" And I had to tell her, like, look, this is basically what it means to be black in America. Does he have on a blouse?
What is he wearing? Mama lace? But anyway, this is what it's like being black in America. Do you know that growing down up in Alabama under the Jim Crow laws, not one time they had to have a talk about this lie about police brutality. And you know why they never had a talk about it? It never existed. It never happened. And it doesn't happen today. It's so amazing how the blacks, not all but these blacks, they're leaving out the real cause of being arrested or stopped by the cops. The real cause. These men, males, they're not men, these males are setting their children, their own children. When you're growing up as a kid, especially boys, you love the police. You love firemen. You love army men because it was masculine. That's what you wanted to be growing up. It's natural in a boy to grow up that way. Climb trees. Pick up a rock and throw it. It's natural. But these beta male, are like women because they have not been born again of God. They've been turned away from their fathers. And they're sitting there talking to wicked Oprah, and she's loving it. And Oprah is one of the richest people in this country. And she had like a black man in America. If that's true, how did she do so well? And how is she doing so well? Remember when her audience was majority white when she first started out. And the blacks didn't even like her because they thought she would cater to the whites. And now she's sitting up on her overweight, makes you want to cuss. But this is what happens when you listen to them. White people, y'all need to love the blacks enough to tell them the truth. Don't try to prove you're not a racist. You can't prove a lie. I would stay away from the people that lie on me, but I would not try to prove it. Here's one more clip from that. This little weak Tyler Perry, Oprah. One time he was on an Oprah show, and he was talking about something, either his father or stepfather, somebody was beating him when he was a child. And Oprah, Mama, he beat me so bad. All I can do is try to find my boy. Meaning, I guess he was referring to himself. I couldn't find my boy, Oprah. Oprah, I couldn't find. What a beta male. Tyler Perry worries about having to talk. These people are evil for having the talk with their children about a lie. You know, they're killing the innocence of their own children. You don't need the KKK. You don't need the police to do it. The parents are doing it. They're doing the job for Satan. You don't need the cops to do that. Tyler Perry says he worried about having the talk and taking away, and it's not even written right, taking away children's innocence. Here we go.
Glenn, I hear you could see the innocence, the moment the innocence started leaving your son's face, which is the reason why Tyler hasn't had the conversation yet.
My wife was super reluctant to have the conversation, and basically we didn't want to wait until we didn't have an option. It was more trying to prepare them. And I'm even emotional watching it because I'm like, Beta. You can see it. You can watch the innocence leave.
But
and
you're
it's
doing
ushering
it.
out of joy.
I'm really emotional still from the video that I just saw. I listen.
I wanted you guys to see that video, but I guess Nick cut it out. Hold on for a minute. Stop it.
It's heartbreaking to see.
I had wanted you, that guy Glenn, they showed a little clip of Glenn and his wife talking to their 5-year-old son, and I think the daughter too. But and you could, Nick said he did not cut it out, but I saw it in the whole film. Thank you, Nick. And you could see them, the little boy had no idea about the police, nothing. He liked the cops. They said, well, the cops don't like you because you're black. And you can see something die in the sun. They did it. They didn't feel that badly about doing it because had they felt bad about doing it, they would not have killed the soul of their own son. Back in a moment, we'll finish that clip when I come back. So look, I want to play this Tyler Perry word about the talk. So now the black people got a talk that they're telling their children. They're telling innocent children who has no idea of what these crazy older black people are thinking. And they'll destroy their own children in the home rather than protecting their children, being a good example, being honest with the kids. So now they have the talk. And so, just so you know, Tyler Perry responded to that guy who husband and wife had the talk with their little kid, 5-year-old. And the kid was just kind of jumping around in the seat, happy. And they were like, well, you know about cops, right? You know about the police. Well, they're nice. I like them. Well, they're bad cops too. And the kid did not understand that. But you can see the kids just die. The father and the mother killed the spirit of their child, not the cop. It's dead already. So when the child grow up, become an adult, and go out into the world, he or she are already believing that the cops are against them because of the color. But it happened in the home. It didn't happen because of police brutality. Watch this.
Glenn, I hear you could see the innocence, the moment the innocence started leaving your son's face, which is the reason why Tyler hasn't had the conversation yet.
My wife was super reluctant to have the conversation, and basically we didn't want to wait until we didn't have an option. It was more trying to prepare them. And I'm even emotional watching it because I'm like, you can see it. You can watch the innocence leave, and it's an ushering out of joy.
I'm really emotional still from the video that I just saw.
Emotional beta males.
Those kids, see, this is what I fear watching. It's heartbreaking to see the innocence in their eyes and not understanding that. That's what I fear for my son, even though I know I have to have that conversation. I had a white woman say to me, she said, oh, Tyler, don't have that conversation with your kid.
Yeah.
That's going to make him think police are bad, or that's going to make him just paranoid. When the truth is that explained the entire privilege that she lives in, that she doesn't even understand that is a reality for us. And if I don't prepare him, if he doesn't know, then I am setting him up for all kinds of horrible things to happen.
What an evil, lying beta male. And Oprah won't even correct it. This is insane. And not all blacks are like this. Believe me, I know black who are not thinking this way at all. They have believed into a lie. There's no talk at all about the lack of values, lack of moral character in the black people, that they're bringing this stuff upon themselves by acting out when they're stopped by the cops because they've been brainwashed. They are brainwashed. I watched the whole video, and it was, if I had any beta in me, I would have been boo-hooing so hard I had to blow my nose, right? Because it's so sick. I didn't know these men were this weak. They sound exactly like their mothers raising children. And the black man, the Glenn guy, when you watch the whole video, you're going to see he and his wife killed the innocent in their in the 5-year-old child by telling them a lie. They didn't even understand it. The kids were not into that. Black people hate themselves because they hate white people. You either have love for all or hatred for all. You can't love one and hate the rest. You love all or you love no one. And because not all, most black people don't love, they don't even love themselves. They don't love their children. Ain't no way in the world I would do that to my child and then pretend that some white people doing it. That white woman that gave Tyler Perry that advice, that was good advice. You're supposed to protect the innocence of your children. That's why you're supposed to get married under the umbrella of God. And when you get married, you make a promise to God. through thick and thin, through sickness and health. You don't make the promise to protect your children, but you know to protect your children because you are now a son of God, and the wife loves you because you love God. Satan can't get in that. But because this is not done that way, they're not born again of God. They're killing their own children. Blacks are killing their own children, not the white people. White folk, if you wanted to kill the blacks, all you need to do is sit back and have lunch. They'll join it themselves. And no one will say it. That's what's so weird about it. There has to be, and there are, men and women out there who have been born again of God, and you don't have a spirit of fear, and you love black people enough to be honest with them. And let them call you names. Uncle Tom or whatever. Let it roll off your back because you know what's right and you love what's right and you love them enough to just tell them the truth even when they reject it. And if they reject it, tell it to them and let them suffer. They don't want to receive it. God let them suffer. These black men are worse than the women. Oh, I just became so emotional when I saw that clip. Brother, I got to have the talk. I just don't know what to do with them. Amazing. And don't forget to like, follow, tweet, subscribe, and share the Jesse Lee Peterson radio show, folks. We really appreciate it. We are at war. It is a spiritual battle for the soul of America. And it's going to take all of us to do it.